I wish that I could be like the cool kids. All the cool kids watching my vids. I wish that I could be like the cool kids. Like the cool kids. Eva. Guys, there's no music today because my internet's out, but at least I have electricity. A big step up from the last several days. So apparently, half the Midwest got hit by gigantic storms. Now, I recall being awakened when I'd just fallen asleep to the sound of tornado sirens. And then looking out the window and watching the crabapple tree go and bend over, touch the ground one way, then bend over and touch the ground the other way. And I'm like, that tree is awfully elastic for a harder wood tree. I was very impressed. And then I looked in the back, and there was I have a I'm having a brain fart. Dang it. Redwood. No, not redwood. Redbud. There we go. That makes more sense. Redbud tree. And that tree was swinging. It had this one long branch swinging like an arm, like it was at a concert, waving, just waving or riding a bull. It was riding a bull, like a cowboy riding that bull. And anyway, long story short, man, straight line winds. It wasn't a tornado. It was straight line winds coming through, just knocking out all the power. There's still people without power, guys. And the internet's out, and but we still managed to have the Mama Becca birthday bash and the Pretty Polly birthday bash. So game night happened. Everything was cool. Made some brisket, had some cake, we had some ice cream, all the good stuff. Some cheese curds. We like cheese curds. Eva, do you like cheese curds? Yes, sir. I like cheese curds, she said. But none of that has anything to do with what this video is about. So let's get to that. Are you guys ready? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, this is heavy. This is heavy. This is a heavy box. How exciting. Okay. Ooh, Carambet. Yes, I will. These are my most handy dandy tools right here. The Carambet. Very cool. Great cutter, so it's great for opening boxes. Do not, if you get one of these, see, it's already cut. The box is already cut. If you get one of these, don't mess around though. You'll be a done deal. Yep. It'll lay open like prom night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bad deal. So, I remember one time I had a knife I stuck into my leg while I was doing one of these videos for you cool kids. It's the one with the Orc Tower. The Orc Tower. So if you check that out, while I was making that video, I had a very dull knife, and it skipped off the surface I was cutting and right into my leg. It didn't go deep into the leg, but it definitely went in there. Yeah. And it kind of burns. I've always noticed that. A lot of people are like, "What's the sensation like?" Well, being stabbed, it's kind of like it burns. It's like you ever step on a nail? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's an interesting sensation for sure. Tickles a little. So what I got here, guys, you're gonna love this. This is a board game that was on sale at Amazon. You know what? I don't want to interrupt Eva because she hasn't been coming downstairs since that little deal. Okay, so what we have here is Journey, Wrath of Demons, the board game. This was on sale. This is a failed Kickstarter. So for all you people kickstarting stuff, right? This is a warning for you, okay? Sometimes when you kickstart something, it doesn't leave China. And if it doesn't leave China, right? It's sold to the highest bidder for pennies on the dollar. So your Kickstarter money paid for some asshole at an auction who doesn't have to offer you a damn thing because you're last in line. Yeah, you're last in line to get your any satisfaction. And by the time they get to you, there's not going to be much there. Yeah. Anyway, it's whatever. It's the, when you do a Kickstarter, you have very few protections. It's literally the worst possible way if you're wanting any kind of guarantees to get a game. Now, sometimes in the earlier days of Kickstarter, you could get amazing deals. I got Arena the Contest, the first Kickstarter. That was the one I got in on. That was, woo! That was a lot of content for the money. But those days are over. So now you got diminished returns and the same risk. The risk didn't go away. You're going to see a lot of Kickstarters fold. Yep. To that effect, let's make this a fun video. Let's talk about some real shit. Yeah. All right. So the reason I bought this board game, it all comes together, guys. The reason I bought that board game was to use these miniatures in this Journey Wrath of Demons. Journey Wrath of Demons. Okay. The point of me buying that was so I had proxies for the Invasion expansion to Cthulhu Wars that I have coming, sitting in a warehouse right now on pallet number 53. But Petersen Games, Sandy Petersen, that guy, his company, they do not have the money to ship my shit to me. Yeah. So they're playing a game called Pallet Wars. That's what we're calling it in the biz. And very fun, very premier, very deluxe. So what they're doing is you can get your pallet to have preference. Well, let me start at the beginning. They claim that they have a set amount of money that they can spend per month for shipping. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is that they have, 87 pallets of stuff, of games, right? Cool games, okay? 87 pallets. Matter of fact, let me grab some stuff and show you the kind of stuff they have. Okay, so the type of stuff you can expect to see are like these expansions. They redid everything, just about. Just about every SKU on their list is up for grabs. So the orders are really big. Okay, some of the orders. There have been people who told me that they ordered $2,000. Yeah, you heard that right. $2,000 worth of Cthulhu Wars and everything because they like Cthulhu Wars. Well, Cthulhu Wars is a fun game, so what's not to like, right? Well, as it turns out, all of these, everything is at risk. Yeah, everything. No soup for you kind of scenario here. So how'd that happen? Well, there's 87 pallets. If you pay, you can pay in $10 increments. Okay. Now, according to Petersen Games, if everyone pays $55 each, okay, right, $55 each, right, then everything will be paid for. It's $100,000, right? $130,000 that they need to ship these games out. And they say, I want to ship them out today if I can, but they can't. Okay, so what do? They say if your pallet clears, and they divided everything up in some kind of funky way. I don't know, but they're saying each pallet costs $1,600 to send out, right? $1,635, something like that. Well, I don't know where they came up with that number because you're gonna have various box sizes, lot sizes. Is one person's full load on one pallet? How'd they do that? Oh, extra steps here. They did a pick and pack in China. pick and pack where they labeled everything in China before it came over here. And that was a cause of a big delay, supposedly. Now, we don't know the truth of everything, and I don't want to call them liars. I will say that they've been less than 100% open about everything, but I'm not going to the extent of calling them flat out liars. There's been a lot of miscommunications, I'll say that, because this is the important part. We were all asked at the beginning of this campaign if we wanted 1 or 2 wave shipping. Now, I had forgotten about this because this thing's so overdue, guys. We're like years overdue on this stuff, okay? And this game's a bunt, not a home run, okay? Because it's already established. This stuff sells like hotcakes. They can't even keep it in the store, okay? It's always sold out, okay? This game is highly rated. If you haven't played it and you get a copy, it's fun. Really good game. Anyway, it's not the quality of the game that's the problem here. Back to the point. 2-wave shipping. So what's 2-wave shipping? 2-wave shipping means that you pay an extra fee to get all your stuff at once. Instead of having to wait, right, on it's the opposite of that. You pay an extra fee to get 2 separate shipments. So you get the first run, right? And then whatever they made on the second wave, which is probably the additions and upgrades and whatnot. Okay. Now, that's item number 1 that you have to know about this situation. They charge people 2-wave shipping, so that they could get their the new stuff that came out with this Kickstarter, which is the Demon Sultan faction. Okay, and a faction is kind of like this: the Ancients here. Or each of these faces on this base core game is a faction. Okay, so each faction, there's 2 new factions, 3 technically in this Kickstarter. Or it started out as 2, but it's turned into 3. That's how messed up this is. We didn't even know about this when we backed it. But and then there's also other add-ons they've added on that we didn't know about. But we'll get into that, okay? Because that's the next phase of this story. So people were paying extra shipping so that they could get the new stuff first, and then the old stuff that they wanted that hadn't been printed yet second. Well, it turns out that was totally canceled. All that was canceled, but no one got a refund that I know of. Now, no one got a refund on that 2-wave shipping, so they paid that extra fee for nothing. Okay. Now, I did not select 2-wave shipping, because I never do. I can wait. I got plenty of games around here. I don't need my game tomorrow, okay? So that because, these games sit on the shelf. I get them out, I got so many games that we play them a couple times a year, we're lucky. So I'm not going to sit here and, pay extra for a game I'm going to wait to play anyway. Doesn't make any sense for my situation. Now, your situation might be different. If you were a hardcore Cthulhu Wars junkie, you wouldn't want to wait, It's a really fun game, guys. Like I said, if you get a chance, there will be some coming up retail, one way or another, here real soon. So I recommend it. 10 out of 10 on thumbs ups. Definitely worth having at the right price point, okay? Now, MSRP on this game, last I knew, was about $200, maybe $235. Now, you're like, well, why is it that much? Well, it's a big game. There's a lot there. It's worth every penny of that. But I've seen it sell retail as low as $98. That was the second Onslaught version. I don't want to get too far into it. If it goes on deep sale, you can get it for $100 or so. You 150, anywhere in there. I'd say it's a bargain if you like painting minis or if you just like big board presents. Okay. However, I have often said that they should do a standee version of this game. They could sell copies like hotcakes, and it would just sell. It's that good of a game. It's not. You don't need the big miniatures for this game. That's my opinion. One guy's take. Okay. So they charge the 2-wave shipping. That doesn't happen, right? So what do? Well, after years of excuses, they finally break down with a video saying, "Hey, we're in dire straits here. The company's running on life support. We're out of money. We had to fire our whole staff, right? At no time are they like, we're sorry this happened or anything, really. They're just like, basically, it's like, you're going to get your games. It just might take a while, okay? Then they come out with this, they tell us that this is all printed. Cthulhu Wars it's, yay, right after that. Oh, we got a great surprise for you. Cthulhu Wars is printed, right? Cthulhu Wars. Well, the thing is, though, they need us to help them out. They need some help. They're selling a new expansion, right? The Watley Clan, Dunwich Horror. They had 2 levels, and the Dunwich Horror level was like, all these are double MSRP, but the Dunwich Horror level is like 3 times MSRP. So you're talking, damn near $300 for actually, it's like 6 times. Because, it's like it'd be like a $50, maybe $75 worth of game. But you also got coupons. Now, my dumbass did sign up for that. I knew, they had mentioned a retail run. So I'm like, well, if they get that retail run going and they get the company back, it's worth the risk. Because, the coupons are nice. I could have got some gifts for people or maybe some stuff for this channel to give away to you guys. But as it turns out, they ain't even got the shipping money to send out what they, promised, let alone anything about some coupons. So I went all in on that. And right now, my stuff's sitting in a warehouse waiting to, get sent out. Well, here's the other problem. So you see this faction here? It's app that I grabbed it. This faction here came out in Onslaught 2, if I remember right, which would have been, let me think, like 2016. So damn near 10 years ago. This Sleeper faction came out 8 years ago, whatever. They messed up the printing on the Sleeper faction. They messed up the printing on the 2 new factions. Both new factions had extensive issues. Books were printed wrong. So there's spell books in the game. I'm not going to get too far into it. Spell books even on stuff that's already been out. No errata at all. And we're having issues with that. They can't even hit a bunt, guys. There's no bunts getting hit here. They need home runs, and they can't even advance the runner. Okay? So they had extensive reprints that they're now having to ship, and that's all coming, supposedly, but no one's gotten it from what I know. And, I'm not even worried about that because I'll figure something out. I'll print something up, on my printer. We'll make it work. But there's also a die, apparently, that they weren't going to give anybody, but now they're giving them, and it's actually boosting the cost to ship the shit. So, it's like step on a hand grenade here, you know what I'm saying? But that's what we heard in August. This was in August of 2022. So we're like, woo! And they hinted to us, you're going to get your games. You're going to get your games soon. And they even hinted to us a date. They said, possibly by December 25th, you'll have your game. Well, as you can see, I ain't got my game, guys. This is my old Onslaught 2 copy that got destroyed. All that's been repainted and magic markered because it's rough. And then we wait. Whoa, we couldn't get it by Christmas, but Chinese New Year. If we can get it out before Chinese New Year, we'll get it to you. Well, Chinese New Year came and went. No, oh, shucks, guys, we had some issues. Oh, the pick and pack team was too slow. It's Chinese New Year. All right, so I don't know if you guys know this about Kickstarters, but Chinese New Year, that messes everything up. It's the end of the world. Everything stops in China during Chinese New Year. That's just the way it is. And anything you're doing is held back months and months. Yeah. So we started doing projections on the Discord. By the way, if you want to talk to these guys, they don't respond on Kickstarter. You got to go to Discord. So on their Discord, we're all doing these projections and the math, and we got May 2023. That's our May. That's when it's coming, right? Well, I will say this. The UK got their jankety copies without the corrections already of all their stuff, okay? And right now, 3 pallets of the 90 that came into the U.S. are out the door. Yeah, and they said they can send 6 pallets a month, which means it'd take them a year and a half to send everything out, okay? In the meantime, they're racking up storage fees. And there was a guy who calculated that's about $4,000 a month, but we don't know what sweetheart deal they have with Gamerati, the company that's shipping this stuff. So we don't know what they're paying, but we know that they are paying a storage fee for games that they were supposed to be able to send out, that we were supposed to have in May. And May was like after many delays. Okay, so that's where we're at now. Except they've, like I said, you pay to get your pallet preferential shipping, but every single lot of that 16 lots that I was talking about has to be paid. So if, say, everyone in the lot paid their 55, but one person in the lot didn't, and then someone else paid 45 over, well, you still wouldn't be at the front of the line because you still owe $10 or whatever it is. Okay. Now, here's the other thing. If everybody paid $55, right, we got this, but you can't pay $55. $55 isn't even possible because it's in $10 amounts, increments. So even if you wanted to, you couldn't pay your fair share. Now, your fair share was the initial shipping. By the way, I didn't mention that. When we backed, back in, however many years ago it was, we paid shipping. Now, as you guys know, back a lot of Kickstarters, and I especially like Reaper. And that Reaper Kickstarter, I can tell you this, the shipping from Petersen Games was double what Reaper charges in shipping. Now, I don't know about their latest Kickstarter because they haven't charged me the shipping yet, but this game costs double the shipping. I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing. All that money's been spent. Tax. They charge me tax. Yeah, you heard me right, folks. Charge me sales tax on a game, even though I'm a backer. I didn't buy shit from them, obviously, because I have no right to shit from them. But they're charging sales tax for some reason. I don't know what that is, because I didn't buy a game. I bought a lot in a, whatever, however you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? This isn't a retail situation, but they charged me sales tax, and it was exorbitant. And I ended up paying about $200. It might have been, it was about $200. Plus, I ended up paying another $300. So altogether, we're looking at like almost $500. It wasn't quite $300 for that Dunwich Horror Pack. And I might be remembering it wrong, but I know I'm like $400 in on shipping on this game. And, it's a bunch of shit I don't need because I have the basic stuff right here. The stuff you absolutely need. So in hindsight, I might have messed up. By the way, if you do play this game, get the High Priest. Very nice, especially if you like, if you're on a high player count and you got, you're playing Crawling Chaos. It's pretty sweet. If you're Chocho, they really like it when you play the High Priest. But anyway, it's a fun add-on. It adds a little element to the game. It's a pretty cheap expansion as far as these things go. And that's the other thing. All this is premier, deluxe, high dollar shit. This is not for Monopoly players. This is people who are serious about their board games and their miniatures kind of stuff here. This is the deep stuff, the deep dwelling things. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, point being, guys, this is a bad situation. I think we'll get our stuff, but it's going to go one of two ways. Either we wait, or eventually, everybody pays their bounty, and or we wait on PG until the storage fees kill them, and then they go under. Because that's how that ends. There's no way they could keep up with that. Odds are, I don't know again what sweetheart deal they have, but that, logically speaking, this is not a tenable situation. It's not. It can't be sustained, and so we get our games a different way because a lot of these distributors will get a hold of individual backers because they have their address on the label already on the product. And they'll tell them, you pay us this and we'll send it to you. So that's happened before. Blacklist Games is a good example. So as long as it's left China, you got a chance of getting your stuff still. Even though you do have to pay shipping for a fourth time or third time, depending on who you are. Now, This is where it gets really crazy, though. Asia and the EU. So the UK got their stuff, but no one else except Russia. Russia and the UK. Explain that to me. I don't get that. But I'm not in the logistics game, so whatever. EU, right? And the Americas, right? Americas and...
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Unplug both of them, then plug the router back in. Wait 30 seconds. Once the router is back on...
This machine that my wife's brought into the house. Do you hear this? It's begging to get hooked to the internet that's not on. This is the stuff I got to listen to. I'm going to go unplug that damn thing. Anyway, that's a different discussion. I don't like that thing. I don't understand anybody having that in their house. It's crazy to me. And if you set up your phone for that stuff, you're crazy too. Because, yeah. Anyway, I sound like my grandma. My grandma used to believe people listen to you in the TV. She wasn't wrong. They listen to us in our TVs now. Anyway, take that to the bank. Now, back to what I was saying. These hip cats have 5 or 6 outstanding Kickstarters. Okay. So this one that came and shipped, that's the least of their worries. At least it's produced. They have Hyperspace, Eternal Adversary, Dinosaur 44, The God's War, and Planet Apocalypse that they have already collected all this money. I think it's just south of $3 million that they collected on those. Could be, you can look it up. And we can't even get Cthulhu Wars, their flagship game, to the backers. They are sitting on retail stock of an unknown amount that they cannot move for some reason. Their web store is not online. Okay, so they can't even sell it direct to maximize their profits because their freaking web store is not online. And there's not been any explanation for any of this. This game sells. So either the retailers are thinking, ooh, we'll wait for them to go under and then buy the games at, barn burner prices, which would be smart, or something else is going on that we don't know about. We just don't know what's going on, and no one's telling us. And that's the thing that's the problem. Ever since they put out this Palette Wars bit, they've been incommunicado, nothing, silence. Anyway, that's enough of a rant. I actually didn't plan to pull out the Cthulhu Wars stuff, but I do have the that new game. I did buy it. And we will do an opening video when I open it, when I get the Cthulhu Wars stuff, just so you can see what's in there. Actually, I can open it now, but what's the point? I may not even get my Cthulhu Wars stuff, so I might as well not open it. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you find all the collectibles of your dreams while you're awake. And if you don't find them, Eva will hunt you down. Yeah. If you don't like, share, and subscribe, she will be just as animated with you as she is right now with me. Pretty scary stuff, right? Yeah, I'm scared too. Peace out. Thanks for watching.